Ben, how did you think the team did in terms of matching St. Louis's physicality in this game?
I didn't think they overwhelmed us necessarily with their physicality. They've done that in the past, and they certainly like to bully teams when you come in here. Sometimes you're at the mercy of the ref on how they want to go about the game, whether or not they're going to call it both ways or one way, or allow them to do that and get caught up in the crowd. And so overall, I don't think the physicality was the issue today. I just it wasn't a bad game from us. We created enough chances to score, and we also created enough opportunities in the final third in a tough place. But again, the quality just lets us down, and that's whether it's the final ball or the same story, guys. Listen, it's but as far as energy and commitment, the guys were into it. We just again fouled up. The second goal is very, very amateur. The way we were shaped up in that moment is no excuse for that. The first goal is a foul on Coco, and we don't get the call. And 9 out of 10 times, I think that's a foul. And the one time she let it go, it results in a goal. So that's disappointing because it puts you behind. But the moments, in the end, weren't there for even late. We get two really good chances to get something out of the game. But we'll turn the page pretty quickly on this one. It's a tired group. I've asked a lot of this crew and the team and the staff, and I think we're very much looking forward to a recharge over the next couple of days. We're going to get away from each other and get back with 2 weeks to prepare for LA, and just keep getting better. But there's a lot of good. We also had some new guys out there. There's a new group. We mixed up a few players, and sometimes when you do that, there's some different relationships that have to be worked out, and it was important for Ethan to get a game. I thought he had a really high level game. The goal itself, again, the center backs don't do a great job in that, but Mika at times bails us out with that stuff, right, with his speed, and so we're gonna need Ethan here in the playoffs. Brooklyn, I thought, had a very good game. Brooklyn was very eventful, physical in the defensive end, and really connected a bunch of passes. So I was really proud of his performance. And Kowalczyk was busy, added a lot. Still a little toothless though, and we got to get better with that.
And further on, Brooklyn is his first 90 minutes he's played since the opening game of the season. Just your more thoughts on his performance?
That game was here, funny enough. So I just said it. Yeah, he was great. I thought he had a really good game. It was nice to see him step up, in particular against a team like St. Louis. It's combative, a lot of duels. It's a physical match, and he held his own against some big boys. And on the soccer side, he was sharp.
Think about it.
Yeah, just disappointing result, as you mentioned, tough place to play. St. Louis teams get eliminated from the playoffs, but sells the stadium every home game, right? So just
I'm not getting into it. I'm not. No, you guys wind me up. You guys get me on the spot, and then I get murdered for saying anything.
No.
What's your question? Go ahead.
No, more just the importance of learning from a place like this, as a team, and
Here's what I take away from this place is that it's a wonderful addition to this league, and to have sellouts every game here, and have a real presence in the city. It's impressive. It's very, very impressive. So I'm a soccer historian. I understand what this city means to soccer in this country. So it's a great place to play, and I think our players were up for it and gave what they had today. Some of them were on fumes already, and some of them got it out, and in the end, it just wasn't our night here. But we'll turn the page on it.
yeah. And my last one's going to be regarding Ali specifically, but you mentioned about fatigue being a factor. In the first 15 minutes, he looked a little not in sync, I guess, with Franco or disengaged. But that's it. Just the fatigue itself.
I don't know if it was fatigue. I thought he put in an okay shift physically, but sometimes when there's a lot of games and you're tired, you can put the physical effort in. But you're not 100%. And he did a lot of work. He got into some really good spots in the first half. We just didn't connect. There's runners in the box, and we just got to find them for real chances on goal. And those have to, as we go and play better teams, we have to be cleaner with that stuff. But guys, this has been a grind, okay? And they're at home. They have a lot of energy. And again, as I said, we're looking forward to turning the page and getting away from each other, getting these guys off their feet, a little rest and relaxation with their families, and then we'll get back to work. But Hector comes back in the fold. We'll be able to, there's a lot to look forward to, but it still hurts. I hate losing. Again, I think she's a good referee. I didn't think she had a great night for us, but I think she's a good referee. And but it wasn't her fault tonight.
Any more questions in the room? We'll jump onto Zoom. Are there any questions on Zoom? Jorge, you could go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Hi, Jorge.
Coach, you mentioned about it earlier, but Brooklyn Reigns, gets a start, and just overall, how'd you evaluate his game today, stepping up in a tough spot like St. Louis?
Yeah, Jorge, I just answered that question twice. Ask me another question. Give me something different, dude.
How much has Hector missed in this team?
That's a good question.
The midfield, how do you evaluate the midfield tonight?
Yeah, I Artie does what Artie does. He's a staple in this lineup, and he's an incredible player for us. But he's on fumes, and we need to get him some rest, and he'll be ready for LA. So Hector will be ready for that game as well. And how much do we miss Hector? We miss Hector like most teams miss their best player or their captain, their guy who pulls the strings. And I've been really pleased with this group. And when Hector's been out and Ponce's been out, the amount of points we've been able to do, and the amount of the way we still continue to play in a way that gives us a chance, as well as getting enough points to have 51 and be in, I don't know, what are we in? 5th, 6th place now? Who knows? But again, this has been a rocky year. We've been out some DPs at times, 2 ACLs. So this has been a tricky road, and it will for us to be 2 weeks away from a big game against LA Galaxy in the playoffs, and a chance to get into that 5th, 4th, 6th, whatever it ends up being, and ready for the playoffs. I'm proud of this group.
And then I wanted to ask about, you mentioned Barlow needs those minutes, but do you believe Mikael would have been a better option tonight?
Ethan needed those minutes, and I thought Ethan did a good job. And there's about 50 things that you don't understand and what goes into who starts and who doesn't. I don't have necessarily the energy to go into all of them, but is Mika a better center back than Ethan Barlow, or is he? He's pretty damn good. And he's pretty important. I didn't bench Mika for his performances. Okay, there's reasons for it. I look forward to him getting back on the field with Eric. It's certainly been a very good pairing for this team.